Hello, FlossTube. This is Dina. I'm going to be putting together a couple of little videos for your enjoyment today, and then I will do my monthly update at the end of the month. But today I wanted to share with you my three pieces that went to the state fair and the comments that I got back from the judges, because that's where you get your feedback as to what you need to improve on, and I think that's very valuable. And the other thing I would like to do today is just share with you a piece of artwork that my son did. It's not cross-stitch, it is pen and ink, but I'm very pleased with it, and I'm trying to find a place for it in my home. So before I hang it on the wall, I thought I'd share it with you today. So I'm going to pause the camera, and I will turn it around and show you these pieces of artwork. Okay, here is the Royal Holiday, otherwise known as the Christmas Queen. And this is the piece that I got my third place ribbon on. And my only feedback comment that I got from the judge was that my stitches were too tight. So I'm going to zoom in here in a second. I apologize if this movement makes you ill, so I'll try to do it very methodical and purposeful. But I want you to see what they're talking about. Here is her face with all of her crinock and beads. I love her earrings. Let's see how close my camera will focus on those beautiful earrings. I think they're just gorgeous. And then there's a lot of crinock and beads in that beautiful fur color. A lot of people are now using whisper thread with that too, that are doing that, and I think that on her stole there, or cape, I think that would look really pretty. And we'll move on down her dress. I think what they are referencing we can see best in the dress. I looked at it very carefully today, trying to learn, from what the judge's feedback is for me, just to see my takeaway from that. And because my first response was, well, my fabric isn't puckering at all. As you can see, my fabric doesn't look like it's puckering. So why are my stitches too tight? But if I get really close, I don't know if my camera's going to focus that close or not. There we go. There are my stitches. And as you can see, because I'm using 2/2, you can actually see a tiny bit of a hole in some of them in the corners where I've pulled my threads through. There's a good example of it. You can see a little bit of airspace maybe up close with a magnifying glass. You don't see this when you move away. I think there's a good example right here of what they're talking about, where they feel like I've pulled my threads too tight, and so the holes are there. In my opinion, it's because I've pulled in 4 different directions. But I actually have very standard stitches. My stitches all look very much the same. There you go again. They say there that my stitches were too tight, and you can see through it. Now, when you back away from it and look at it the way that it will be on a wall, here's what you see. You're not going to be much closer than this to the picture because it's hanging on a wall, and you would have to stick your nose to the glass to see it much closer than that. But that is my lesson learned, and I wanted to share that with any of you who might be thinking of having your needlework judged in a fair. That is something I need to work on, and so that will be my takeaway from this piece. I'll pause now and show you the next piece. Okay, this is the Butternut Road pattern, Catch the Wind, and I was able to get a blue ribbon on this one. So let's examine this one and see if it looks any different than the others. We'll get a little bit closer here to the subject matter. Let's examine these stitches. I'm not seeing any space in these stitches. This is the same type of fabric. It is a linen. um, but I'm not seeing the same number of holes where I can see where the stitches were to go down or not. Um, I think these are really, really sweet faces on these girls. Really cute, cute expressions and long dresses and whatnot. Anyway, on this one, the comment that I received was very pretty, color palette, interesting subject matter. They liked the subject matter, and they said my stitches were too tight. In essence, they said my stitches were too tight on all three of my pieces. So I obviously put too much tension on my stitching because I want them to lay flat and uniform. But I did get a blue ribbon on this one, so that was helpful. And we'll move on to the third one. Okay, the third piece that I had entered in the fair was the wedding, and I got a blue ribbon on this one. And the only, interestingly enough, my judges' comments almost sounded contradictory to me. One of the comments said that I had excellent control of my stitches, and I think you all know that I was worried about that with this solid white dress, how, you know, the white shows up so much. And yet they said, once again, stitches too tight. They even said on this one that I had come up in the wrong hole on some of my stitches, but I still got a blue ribbon. So obviously on my Christmas Queen, it was the first big thing I worked on after I retired, and probably had to get back into my rhythm. So it may be the worst of my tightness, but I wanted to give you a look at these stitches. Here's the little flower girl, and here's the wedding dress. With all the beads, pretty flowers. This has so little back stitching in it, but it's just so much white. Interestingly enough, I'm going to pull back so you can see it while I talk with you for a second. There was never, sorry for the motion, there was never a comment about the use of beading. There was never a comment about the use of specialty threads such as Krynic. Nothing about specialty stitches, just tightness of stitches, stitches in the same, coming up in the wrong hole, which is easy to do in linen if you're not careful. I couldn't help but wonder on this one for the bride and groom if maybe my half stitches were being interpreted that I had come up in the wrong hole. I don't know, because I don't know anything about the judge or their background. But needless to say, I am thrilled, and but I wanted to share with everyone the feedback that I have gotten, because so many people have been so kind about saying they couldn't believe I didn't get a blue ribbon on everything, and you know, that the work is beautiful. It is beautiful, and it's beautiful subject matter, and I love the finished product. The artists do such a wonderful job, and it's a privilege that I get to stitch all of this. But we can always learn, and we can always improve, and I thought if I share what I've learned from mine, then you guys can avoid that, and you'll have even better results at when you put your stitching in the fair to be judged, when you get that opportunity. So I know it puts yourself out there a little bit. I was very nervous about having something judged after so long, an absence from it, but I think it was good because it gave me feedback on what I need to improve on for my stitching, and I always want to make it better. So I appreciate all of the comments from the judge, and I hope that you will appreciate that feedback as well. And now I'm gonna stop the video here, because tomorrow is the day that I will draw the winner for my celebration of my 1,000 subscribers. So I'll be back tomorrow to do that, and in the meantime, I hope you guys have a very happy stitching day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, as promised, here is the cityscape that has been prepared by my son for his dad. This is a pen and ink, and I'm going to get a little bit closer so you can see a little more detail. It's just a downtown scene. City street. And love this scene here. It was great. And if you'll notice right here, there's a JTH 13 right here. That's his signature. Anyway, I think he's very talented, and I just wanted to show off his work on my channel. So thanks for watching it. Hi everyone, it's Dina. It's time for the drawing for the giveaway for 1,000 subscribers. So thanks everyone for entering and for your wonderful stories of your favorite cross stitch. I have heard some of the nicest stories about family members, events that you commemorated, special people that you stitched for, things that just meant a lot to you. And it just warmed my heart. It was wonderful. So I'm going to change the camera angle now so you can watch the random.org generator, and we will find out who the winner is going to be. So hold on. Okay, here we go. There were 142 people who signed up for this drawing, and I apologize for my wobbly arms here. I'm going to hit the generate button here, and the number is 76. So 76. Judith Utter. Judith Utter, you are the winner of the Mirabilia giveaway. I'll be showing you that in just a second. Okay, Judith, let me see if I can get the glare off your pattern there. Maybe not. This is the Mirabilia pattern that will be coming your way. And the name of it is The Lily of the Woods, The Dreaming Fairy by Nora Corbett. And this is the fabric that's coming your way. It's a silver green. It's not showing up perfectly, as we all know. That doesn't happen, but that's better right there. That'll be coming your way with the pattern. And then with your fabric, we'll just leave that there so you can see how pretty it looks. Here is your beads, different size beads. They've got the small beads and the larger beads, treasures, and your cryneck. So you'll have everything you need to do this pattern except your DMC, which most people have their thread stash or can get it fairly easily, but you'll have everything else you need. And so Judith Utter, if you will private message me, I will get your address so I can get this in the mail to you. And thank you everyone for signing up for the prize package, and especially thank you for your subscriptions, for watching my videos, and your sweet comments. I enjoy them so much, and I appreciate this community so much. So Judith, let me hear from you, and so I can get your package to you, and congratulations.